So we're gonna continue that on that weekend.
Yes, that's
perfect.
Yeah, moving forward. Anything? Yes.
Any thoughts of ever doing EQs?
You know, why did I know you were gonna?
Because you asked me first.
Anybody else got a question?
Oh,
No, that's me not.
yes.
So you know what? I did entertain it. Our insurance design cover track racing for UTVs. Only covers desert. Even our insurance, I get the AMA insurance. No, it's covered. It's covered on that. So I get to go through the District 38 insurance. But it doesn't cover UTVs on the track. Track UTVs are a little bit different. You know, you might need screens on the front, nerf bars. You know,
No combat.
on a
Yeah,
track.
no comment.
Yeah, I would hope. You know, the desert cars are built for less contact, but that way, you know, there's a little bit more running and stuff. So, is it something I'm comfortable with? Is it something I want to do? I don't know. I did go out and I looked at a few areas. Do you know the truck track? A lot of it would be on that. So it's a boom track with some high speed, what I call ski jumps, just kind of, you know, kind of real mellow. We could circle around and use some of the desert too. But yeah, it's just like, I did go up and eye it out. Not sure, you know, how many people would come. It's gonna take
One.
two.
Two.
Okay, all right.
My bad.
We got 4.
Is this the new quad thing where everybody says they'll come and it doesn't?
We've
We've heard this for 15
Yes.
years.
We're gonna do a night race for quads because they're begging for it.
Danny Kramer showed up.
It was like, really, 2? Danny and Josh. Yeah, and we held a race with 2 people. So
Who won?
Josh, Danny. So yeah, anything else on that? Like, no, I did actually look at it. Just
curious.
nothing. All right. John, you want to take the rattlesnake chase?
I mean, I thought everything went good for being a race that was so hot. We had a good turnout.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was a good turnout though. I mean, over 100.
I thought it was good.
I can't be more pleased with the help we had. I mean, my first time ever doing it, and I kind of touched base with everybody 2 or 3 times a week coming up to it. And I mean, literally, I mean, you included, the track was cleaned up when we were done that day. I went around it the next Saturday and I found 1 arrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't.
Was it blown down?
It was, but yeah, no, I mean, for me, as hot it was, and I thought it went really well. We had really no issues. One guy on the bike, you know, and we got now with my son back being a sweep rider, and Danny being a sweep rider, they both got radios in their helmets. The one guy that went down,
pretty
Travis was right there. Lazar was there just in a few minutes, you know, and man, that worked out good.
Well, I heard him, and they were with me,
Yeah.
and I had my radio, and I was like, "Hey, go out here." It's like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
And they were on their way.
Well, there's something said to be about those smaller. I mean, that's the easy one because that's just a small
Yeah.
boat. You know, I mean, guys like longer loops and stuff, but you know, it brings in a lot more issues trying to do longer loops. It's hard.
But in that heat, I think it's good because people. The end of the first race or the second race, and about halfway through the third race, first race nobody comes in for water or anything like that. It's gonna be an easy day. All of a sudden, you can tell the heat went up. People are looking a little fatigued. Man, they were lined up. So that was Kim's new job. You just do the water stuff, wave them through. So yeah, I mean it was hot. So I think the shorter course is a lot safer when it's hot. You don't want to get somebody out there overheating.
Yeah, if it would have been raining, that would have been like the whole trip or something.
Even the day before.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, all in all, I think it went really well. I'm back to it. It's good.
yeah. Anybody have any questions for John? On that? Back on the back, anything?
That's good. Let's say good turn.
You raced it.
I did race it. I just complimented it. It was good. Everything great. Easy to follow. Fun course.
What race were you? Second.
First race.
First race?
It was nice and cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know, it was awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice and cool.
And then, so no comment, well, John, you're up. Next race was I-8 on Smash.
That motorcycle race for me, as far as somebody putting it on, was a disaster. I had people not where they were supposed to be. I had road crossings that were supposed to be manned that weren't. I take full responsibility for it because I didn't babysit good enough, I guess. I thought I did. But yeah, that was a shitty situation. Cleaned it up with UTV race. UTV race went good. I think we extended. I'm trying to do different stuff, get big mileage in, and make it a real desert race. But I think I extended a little too far over 3 loops and then that being looped. So lesson learned on that. Just got to reevaluate the staff that we have and do a little better job of babysitting.
Well, it's hard, it's not easy. And you know what? Everybody else that is.
Yeah, it was just, it was actually embarrassing for me. 'Cause I thought I had it in place and obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
Had a guy go down about, I don't know, 400 yards off the start on a quad. He knocked himself out. He just ended up with a broken hip. He was there by himself, of course. But we tracked down his family. As well, he was struck, but we got him there from Chino Hills. So, yeah. I think the UTV race went good. Everybody seemed to like the course and everything. We mellowed it way out for them. Not already feel Rocky Canyon complaint and stuff, so
No complaint and stuff.
yeah.
Anybody have comments, anything for Jason?
One thing I was, we did that, I was actually surprised there wasn't a single person who didn't have their name insurance. Every single person just outright. I was actually expecting some people to, oh, I didn't know, but
You'll get that, you know, maybe they never raced here before.
Yeah, most people have called ahead of time to tell me what their situation is.
pretty thankful for.
I did see somebody with like the donut style, and you guys got a video of the donut style, and you had a donut style.
Really, that came through. So
Yeah, they
must
did.
have switched it out, so.
Right in front of me. Yeah.
Oh, that was,
Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble following.
yeah.
What you guys talking about?
You know, the donut,
Restraints.
yeah,
Oh.
the neck restraint.
Like, the kids on
Somebody came through with a donut one instead of the one that attaches to your helmet.
I don't.
that's totally,
We kept every single driver I told, you're gonna have to have.
okay, maybe you're talking to the group, all right?
You need
Yeah.
to change back.
Yeah, they protect.
Can't hear what you're saying.
I have a question on the neck restraints. I know we have to wear them. Do you guys check expiration dates?
No, not yet. Yeah, I'm leaving that door open, okay? You know, we don't check the dates on belts. What we look for is, good condition. My opinion of the certification process, it's a moneymaker. It could be a year out, and you gotta get new ones. Or some of the belts, they can recertify, the Crow and stuff, but most of them do not. They want you to buy all new stuff. It could be brand new. You know, so, you know, if you come in and your stuff is ratty, we write it down and our stuff is ratty. Okay, you know, whatever it is, whatever the item is, and we tell you to fix it. Now, when you come back, that goes on to the next race. And, you know, then I check that to make sure it's been, you know, if you come in with a driving suit, you know, 6-inch dash in the butt, you're gonna get busted for that, you know. Cause now you're gonna get, you know, get fired, so, yeah. So one other thing I wanna bring up, what you said is, That's done?
Yeah.
Nobody has anything for Jason? So like the flyer for the rattlesnake chase, guys, it's all of them. We'd really like to see them, just to proof them. I am not gonna catch everything, but if you would send it in and let me look at it and at least let me know if it's posted or something. And I just have the rattlesnake here one because it was one I came across first. But you know, on here it said that the writers meeting was online. We haven't done that in a long time. So, you know, that's something I probably would have caught. You know, stuff like that, I just look it over. Doesn't mean I'm gonna catch everything, but it's just good to have another set of eyes proof it. If, also if one person does it, let's say you do it in your club, you know, have Andy proof it too. You know, before you send it in. You'll catch a lot of stuff and just, you know, we wanna be on the same page. And one other thing, the medical fee, if that was for when you use Firehawk, so if we're not using Firehawk and nobody has, and I don't expect we probably will, you know, you can't charge that. So it was all right. We really didn't know what was going on. We had to get the flyers out. Totally cool with it. But in the future going forward, you can't charge that Firehawk medical fee.
Why is that?
Because we're not using Firehawk.
Yeah, but if the fees are comparable, what's it?
It was voted in as comprehension for compensation for Firehawk because we have travel time, we don't have, and hotel rooms, we don't have. So that's why we brought it in. And if we want to do something,
But if the fees are comparable, what's the difference?
it's a whole year. coming up. Right, Skip? Skip the tape.
What?
Maybe, when you get rid of the fee, maybe you adjust the price of the price.
But yeah, I would just adjust,
Okay. That's.
adjust the entry fee to represent.
It's a new year, man, the year's coming up. District 37 is higher price than we are.
Everywhere.
You know, you
Yeah,
can-
yeah.
But they're very comparable to what we do, right? So you could say, all right, you know, let's kind of, what do they charge?
What are their fees?
It's like 58 or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of a odd number. I was thinking like 57 would be cool with the $3 service fee. Bam. But that would, and then, you know,
Same as what we're doing, just not make it a $10.
well, yeah, but, you know, we voted that in as this, so now it's kind of expired. So now you,
Yeah,
if you guys are losing money, and I would love to see, you know, kind of like your financials, like I have, you know, on the GP. You know, I keep track of my expenses and how much I make. You know, you can get an idea of where your break even is, whether you're making money, losing money, and where that breaking point is. That would be great. That would help us adjust properly. Obviously, keep the prices low, it gets a better turnout. Better turnout, you actually get more money. So, you know, the higher it goes, the less people can afford to come, especially with,
$10. I don't think that's too much.
all right, well, if you don't think the higher prices will chase people away, you're definitely wrong. So, because I'm not saying, I didn't put a number on it, you put a number on it. Don't go there. Higher prices, less people. Lower prices, more people. I'm not saying you're gonna get 1 million people if you had $10 free. You're gonna get maybe a couple more. But you know, it's like, it is effective.
So Rob.
Yeah.
So right now, the cost is $63 for district members if you go on that thing, right?
On whose thing?
Well, if we go through Moto
District
Tally-
37?
38. If we go
Oh,
through Moto Tally and you're paying for it, if you're a member, is it 50?
50.
Because when I paid for this race, it was $60.
That's what he's
so-
talking about, you're not supposed to be charged.
I know, but we're not supposed to charge it, but if I go and just put it on there, it automatically charges. So are you saying that that means off a Moto Tally, whoever sets Moto Tally up has to take off that extra $10?
Yeah, and it would have to be off the flyers too, right?
Right, no, I get
Because
that
that's-
on the flyers.
That's where you get it from. You said you're.
But it's
Right,
on the
so
flyers,
flyers.
but on Moto Tally, so
Yeah.
when we set Moto Tally, who sets Moto Tally?
Chad, me,
Okay, okay,
Thomas.
okay.
So what you wanna do is, you wanna set your prices accordingly.
Alright, so I'll adjust I'll have Chad adjust our flyer, because we just said newly added $10 rescue and convenience fee,
I know.
so.
Yeah, I get it, and that's why I'm like, on the first two races, you know, we weren't really sure You know, Lessar was still kind of like, yeah, we're gonna make it, what do you think? And, you know, so let's just cover our bets, charge it, it's okay.
So,
Two more races.
district members and non-district are $10 cheaper, so just
15,
non-district
60.
is 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, I was thinking, like you said, like maybe $57, and then $3, it comes out to even 60.
Oh, I see.
That's all I was saying.
I raced days off twice this year up in Arizona, and I spent $300 a day.
Congratulations.
I'm just saying, they had 500.
I remember when we set our UTV pricing, we set them at like 150, they said. And we were like, yeah, we're the cheapest in town, and they came in at 149. And then they started saying, we're the cheapest in town. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna play that game, so.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
District 37, a few weeks back, had a meeting about trying to raise their entry fees to $80.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes, I will. Okay.
District 37 had a meeting about 3 or 4 weeks ago about raising their fees, and they got all the clubs involved at Glen Helen. They were gonna raise it to $80 because of the National Hare and Hound wants, they wanna make more
Yeah,
money.
they want so much.
But then, can you imagine paying $80 for a dual euro? I mean, shit,
I could,
but I don't know where it went. I don't think it went anywhere personally.
it seems like, well, I
Well, it's
mean, the
ridiculous.
National Hare and Hound is very expensive.
Yeah, but the district has their fees that they charge, but they wanna raise it for the National Hare and Hounds, which we only have 2, but they're gonna bump those up, they're gonna try to bump them up to 80.
Well, I don't really care so much what they do, I was just using them as.
I'm just letting you know what they were trying to do.
You know,
Trying to bump it.
What we need to do is look at like, are we making money, are we losing money?
Correct.
Do we need to charge more? I mean, we're all nonprofit, we're not here to get rich, but we don't wanna lose money.
Correct.
So, you know, I mean, if we need to keep it at a comfortable level, where we're not gonna lose money, then that's what we need to do. So I would suggest to all the clubs to look at your books, you know, and let's come up with a number and let's definitely discuss it.
Okay.
Because I think maybe our pricing is a little bit behind. I try to keep the GPs cheap because it totally matters. You hold a Grand Prix at Glen Helen and they can race there any weekend they want. It's not a District 38 thing. I'm against every other person who puts their GP on out there. They have them almost every week. So, you know, I can't go out there and like jack my prices up, but I did find out that I was the lowest again, and I raised them $5. You know, so yeah. But you know, you gotta know where your break point is.
Correct.
So find that out, and let's definitely talk about it. So anything on any races, guys? Going once, going twice. All right, we're gonna go talk about sponsorship for the district. The district will be reaching out for the 2025 sponsorship. We're gonna be hitting up the existing. We have some new leads on, some people who have mentioned, you know, they'd like to help out the district. And if any of you have any leads, you can pass them on to us. You can tell them to contact us. Doesn't matter. We will definitely hook up with them and, you know, show them what you get for your money, see if they want to be part of it. Some people say, you know, well, I'm not really getting my money's worth. You might not. But a lot of people do it because they want to be involved. It's not much top tier. This is what goes back into paying for the insurance. You know, the insurance is, I don't know, it's like $1,200 a race. You guys are paying, I've got it here somewhere. 600, I think, something like that.
Oh, I think so.
720. I've got it, but you know, you're getting about 50% off. So this goes to offset that, and you know, God forbid if we had something that we could like right now we're road or you know stuff like that. There's also paying for that. So you know, if you have any leads, send them out to me or tell them to contact me.
I was just gonna also say, if anyone is at your local UTV dealer, your side-by-side motorcycle, you can always bring it up to them because whatever they spend on advertising in the district, they can write off as advertising for their business. So it's a win for them and a win for us. And as we're doing business around town, Because not everything is UTV or motorcycle related. There's other businesses that may like to get involved. Oh.
Is it 500 for the season or 500 a race?
So you would never want to race.
You said $500.
Hanging out with Robin and Ross.
or?
500 a year.
That's cheap. That's cheap
I would-
for a business.
It's a good value, it's not cheap.
Oh,
There you go.
excuse me.
And we do have we have electric company, we have contractors, real estate agents. Anybody who wants to get their name out there. Jen does a great job on social media. She posts it. You know, it's on the bottom of every flyer. You know,
We talked about it.
How many top tiers do we have last year?
Or was it all this year?
well, I don't have that information at my fingertips. So you'll have to like submit your question in formal writing. Somebody who does that.
You need a reference.
Oh, no, what? You want me to give you a ballpark? Why don't we say around 10?
Okay.
Ish.
What's your staff?
That's
You used to have people.
I use that weeks, man. Steve is still recovering. He's
Oh, I didn't know he was out.
yeah, he had knee surgery. Had some bone skin and muscle grass.
Out fun.
Who else, Steve, if you're watching this, I'm sure he's not. But yeah. So. Anybody have any other comments on sponsors? Okay. Medical coverage. So, this is where, just talk to us, Tom, how's he gonna work this? Do you want me to call him?
That's probably the best.
I'll call him. So we're gonna be talking about, medical stuff, which is webinar. Tom, are you watching? Are you watching on Facebook Live?
the meeting tonight?
Okay, yeah, so you got a lot of feedback. You gotta shut up. Can you see?
Give him 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, you gotta turn off your computer speaker. Talk on the phone now.
Talk on the phone.
I think you got it, man.
I don't know, I just pushed play button somewhere.
Yeah, so everybody's listening to you, so don't say anything, okay, that you don't want them to hear. So I'm gonna talk about, medical coverage. So Lessar has done the last 2 races, and they totally expect to be back for all races going forward. Tom's the new president, Tom Wardrop, everybody. If you don't know him, he's on the phone. And, he's gonna talk more in detail on what's going on with Lazar. We're gonna have a little chance for a couple minutes to ask him. You know, it's kind of like an AMA, ask him anything. Are you ready for that, Tom?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. How about you starting off by tell us what's going on with Lessar and how things are like shaping up over there.
Okay, great. My name's Tom Wardrop. I'm with Lazar, the president. And it's been a bit of a challenge, different, knew nothing about this going into it. Learned a lot in the last couple races. And looking forward to hanging out and staying out there. We've got excellent feedback thus far on EMTs, firefighters, volunteers that have been coming out. So we've been well staffed thus far on the events. And we look to be bigger and better here in the near future.
Awesome, Tom. Do you have you know, with your experience from the last 2 races? And first of all, let me I know I kind of dropped a bombshell on your wife at the award banquet. You didn't tell her you were going to take this on. You should have told me that before I announced it in front of everybody, I guess. But you know, I'm glad she didn't kill you for it. how about, have you learned anything? Do you have any suggestions for the group going forward?
Well, my main thing from going forward would be communication. That's our biggest pet peeve right now, is just making sure that the clubs are open to communicate and we close, have that line open day of the race, of course. And prior to would be helpful. If there's any way to assist with a shortcut line for us medical out in the field, that's been one of my new items that I'm trying to bring up. As coming out on the GPS, if there could be a possible medical line, it doesn't have to be broadcast to the riders or car guys. It could just be a medical line to get across from point A to point B, something out of road flies. I'm just trying to get to patients quicker, efficiently, and learn that we have to have them in and out in 30 minutes if something were to go down. And that was something totally new to me. I had no idea you have to be out there and recovered in 30 minutes or less. So, yeah, I've learned a few things. It's fun, believe it or not. Another key thing is mile markers. Mile markers out on the maps would be nice instead of by 5 or 10 miles. If we could have them by miles would be great. But maybe 2 miles in case it starts to blur it. I get it. I understand it. But the maps have been cool. The other 2 clubs have given us maps as well on 11.5 by 17s and some 36 by 24s where we're able to hang them in the trailer. That's been really cool where we just put little magnets of our units where they're at and kind of keep record of what's going on and be able to write on them.
Thanks, Tom.
That's about it. The designated person on radios would be cool. If you have that, or possibly I'm open for suggestions. I know our radio system is sometimes can be overbearing because we do talk a lot. And I know it could be, kind of a pain listening to us and then trying to deal with your guys' race too. But that's a work in progress. I need to figure out that situation. And I'm sure I will by the next race.
Well, you shouldn't have to do it alone. You should be able to get the clubs and ask them for suggestions too. So, we're in this all together. It's not just you. So
100%. It's not me at all. It's everybody involved, and we'll get it all worked out.
yeah, that 30 minutes. That's a target. It's not a hard rule. It's what you try to accomplish. It's a good standard to follow. But yeah, I mean, it's not like you have to have them packaged up and on their way out.
Well, we've been doing it, and right now we want to keep that going for us.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know it's not like BLM imposes that or anything, but it's definitely your goal, and it's a good goal to have. Time is of the essence if they're actually here. So.
Yes, it is.
Are you done, Tom? Do you want me to open it up?
Open it up.
Open it up. Open up the floodgates. All right, let's talk to Tom.
I got a question.
Oh, John Woods has a question, Tom.
Hey, on the radios, does that trailer have 2 radios or just the one laser radio?
The trailer has one radio with multi-channels in it, but it doesn't scan them.
Okay, what I would suggest is easy enough. Let's put another radio in that, and then whatever club's running a race, that radio will be on that club's channel only. So they have direct communication to that radio.
I was thinking something of that nature, but I was thinking also
Yeah, but, well, I mean, we're in flat ground, that's fine. But it would be easy enough to get another radio and an antenna if we have to, and have direct communication with the club running the race separate from the channel, all the traffic on the laser channel.
What you're gonna have though is the same problem that we have like at the finish line, where you listen into two radios, now they have two radios. And the problem in a fire race is gonna be towards their own radio, especially if they're recovering somebody. So.
Well, they've got a pretty good radio guy that runs it, but I mean, it's just an idea, but I mean, that would be, that way they would have direct communication with it. They just have.
Yeah. But you know what, I mean, the way it was before, home chat, usually that starts right there, handheld's fine, you know, because you're only 200 yards away, half mile max. If they have that, they can talk to anybody.
So, Tom, let's skip.
Skip has a question.
What do you got?
So, I had the handheld this last weekend, and I found it fairly difficult to follow or at least follow your conversation or what was going on, along with what we had going on at the race. And unfortunately, your radio got set to the side. So I'm just stating that I would like to try to come up with a better communication structure, because that's one of the things that our race we really struggled with was the radio this time. And it doesn't really come to light until you have a lot of problems going on, which we're learning. But I'm just making that statement that I would definitely like to work with you on either separate radio channel or some way that I can have a better communication with your base before you relay, just so that so like if there's an emergency, I can get in touch with you and I don't feel like I'm lost in radio chatter. You understand what I'm saying?
I am the radio. Being the radio the last race, and looks like I won another title for another position, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
But that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm definitely going to figure out a way to help with the chatter portion of it. But I believe that possibly where I'm leaning is checking in with each other every 15 minutes. I have to keep a radio log, and we keep a radio log of all of our transmissions, and it just looks much better if we have that link open between the club's base and medical base or research base. So we have, and we can show that we have communication in case of something happens. I just want to, we're working on that ourselves right now internally, and hopefully be able to have it out, roll it out for the next race.
Sounds
I'm
good.
definitely open for suggestions as well. It's not too bad, too sad. Everybody's got my email. Please just send me an email. Let me know your thoughts and let me know what you guys are thinking, and we can come up with something together.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to get with you next race, just see what you're doing, just so that if I have some input or we can work something out.
Okay.
This is Rob. I can tell you, I carry two radios at every race I'm at, just so I can keep track of everything that's going on. And when things get busy, there's no way it works. I hand off one radio to Kim because I just can't talk and listen to two radios. And it's just too difficult, so I have her listen to that. And anything pertinent that needs to get relayed, let me know. You know, it's just, I think the solution is not a one-man solution. Whatever the solution is,
Well, it's more than one person.
it won't work. Because when it gets busy, it's too hard for others.
Yeah, one person can't handle the race radio and these are.
Nope.
So definitely the base station may want to consider two people hanging out at that area to handle that. It can get overwhelming, I understand that, especially with the chatter that goes on our radios and our radio checks as well.
So So the one person, say at our home check, is just communicating with your home check, correct?
With their base.
With your your base, and your base is relaying to your people, so it should always be, like somebody gets hurt, they're calling the race channel for home check, and then our home check is relaying to you, and you're relaying that message out. So having a 50-watt radio to communicate to you is not necessary. A 2-channel handheld would probably be fine, right?
Right, from that
Okay.
standpoint, yes.
Okay.
And that's what we're looking at, we're just looking at right now with a handheld, which that's what we provide the clubs with.
Yeah.
Handheld. But now we need to have a handheld of our own with current frequencies of each club.
It's not a bad idea.
That's work.
You got anything for Tom?
I'm just curious, Tom.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
David, this is David.
This is David Render.
Sure.
I was going over there and talking to you personally. Was that a hassle or was that okay? Because we were trying to track down riders.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, unless, it's total chaos. Usually, I mean, my wife, she was out there as well. And, I mean, we have to just deal with it and not a problem. Please, I encourage that. Come over.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Anything else for Tom? Anybody? Nobody has any questions for you, Tom?
This is simple.
Right? Easy day for you, huh?
Tom,
Oh, Dan's got something.
And Marker's on the phone.
can I say something about what you want on GPS?
What do you got?
I think what he wants is whoever makes you guys GPX files, I don't know, he does it for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He wants like a red line from Leesar out to like mile 2. And then maybe some forks going out so it goes to the other ones. So you can get from where he is out to wherever the racer is, mile 2.5. And they can follow the right?
And to get across to 20, instead of going, we're just trying to create shortcut routes if we can. I mean, I know it's a long shot, but I would like to at least try to go that route or have the club assist me with a route like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
I actually have a couple ideas for that.
That's easy to follow GPS line.
That's just something we have to do well in advance.
You
of
know,
the race.
what we could do is Tom just brought, what we could do is actually, anybody out there can GPS, a trail, and they can load them. It may look like pretty busy, but those will be remained on their, you have a grant system or whatever?
No,
Something like
I race, I'm doing that. So I clear theirs out every race and then I load
Okay.
the GPX file.
But you could keep these files that are not the race course.
Right.
And just use like the ones in that vicinity maybe.
It would be easier.
It wouldn't have to be on a certified route, would it?
Oh, no.
It would be easier if the club simply took their GPX file. And this really applies when we get to the mountain more than anything. I mean, out on flat grounds, it's really not a problem. But like the other day going down through the rocks, I mean, they had to, one time they had to leave to go up and back. They couldn't get up sand and they had to go all the way around 3 years. But under GPX files, it's very easy to look at that when you can draw a line under X's file. And then when I load it, just draw it in a different color and I'll load it under GPX. It's really easy. It's not complicated. I can actually even do it. I can actually draw it. I can open up the file. I can add the line.
You got those things.
Yeah, it's easy. But that really applies to the mountainside. I mean, our flat ground, these guys know the desert. But
Is it just the mountain area, Tom, that you're concerned with or others?
Because the other location, we're supposed to overlap.
Okay.
Some mountain areas there.
Okay.
it's tough factors anyway. at
Now, if
some
you come
point.
across the Allens, they'll give you a ride, right?
Yeah.
Gave me a ride last time, because I couldn't get there.
You know, maybe at some point, Tom, it would be nice if we had four-wheel drive quad or so in lanes or like somebody a medic on it too, because in some situations like that, at least they can get there and get out fast, you know? I
Do
mean,
a triage quickly,
yeah.
let you know what's going on.
Good idea. Well, do I hear, somebody's gonna assist with one? Or donate one?
Contact Steve Natale. Tell him to sell that Honda Pioneer, get you a Bombardier, one of those big tractor things.
No, it's just an idea, just a thought, just an idea, like I said.
No? It's good to talk about. Anything else for Tom? Anybody? Right, Tom? You, any last parting words from you?
No, thank you, and, look forward to seeing everybody at the next event. Have a safe one.
All right, man, appreciate all you're doing.
Bye, Tom.
Right on.
All right, bye, Tom. All right. David Brickman says there's no sound.
That was old.
Oh, okay. I just, Donald Trump wants me to like donate $20. Seriously? I don't know how many of those I
Could
can
be all the difference.
Yeah. All right, guys, next topic. Last meeting, I put it out there that, you know, Fulton was still looking for a president. Gabe Matthews stepped up. It turns out, he is just too busy. His company is right over here, halfway to my house, and he is just too busy to take on something of that nature. So he's agreed to help out, so we're still looking for a new president. I'm working with Wes to try to get them back up and running. The strength of the district is not the district. You guys know that. It's the strength of the clubs. District is just hanging around, all right? We're not putting on races, except for the GP, but I'm about that. The hard races, the desert races, where it takes a lot of manpower, a lot of resources. So that is the strength. So, you know, to lose a club, one time we were up to 5. I really hate to see it go down to 3. That's not a win for the district. You know, Mark came in and kind of saved OTB when they were kind of like not sure. So we need you to do that again, Mark. You don't mind, right?
Yeah, I got plenty of time.
You slough that off to. Yeah, but you know, I mean, seriously, if anybody knows of anybody, I think it will start with not the president. Like, I talked to Wes, and I think his path to success was flawed. He's looking for a president without a club. I think you kind of have to build it all at once, and you need to get members, more members. It'll be easier. I mean, who would sign up for a president job when you've got, we got like 3 to 5 members. You want to be the president of that? No, you don't. So, you know, to build it, you kind of build it from the ground up, and it'd be nice to start with the president, but that's probably not going to happen. So, I mean, Gabe has agreed to stay on. He has a lot of resources, like I said, personnel, you know, just things that would really help that club. But the leadership is missing, and the lack of club members is missing. So, if anybody can help out with that, great.
Is Wes like in charge? Because I know when
Yeah.
it's kind of
So,
a cluster.
you want to talk about the ex-president?
Just people trying to claim that they have something to do with it when we know they bailed.
Yeah, so maybe I've got the resignation on my
I
phone.
agree, but that
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get into the social media games. I don't do that. I just don't. It's not my style. Yeah. So the past president resigned. You know, you resigned from the company I work with. You turn in your 2 weeks notice for me. It doesn't mean you're still employed there. It means you quit. You're gone. If you want to come back, you should probably call me and we'll talk about it. There was no conversation. There was no anything. Yeah, so it's basically Wes is it, he does not want to be the president. He says, all right, I'll kind of tag along for a year or so, be the VP, see how it goes, but,
This
then-
is much better of a representative than the other guy.
Yeah. So, you want somebody who is good with people. Let's face it.
Not Wes?
Wes is there, come on. Yeah, I mean,
Not here.
and I'm not. We want everybody's help, regardless of who they are and what they've done. But to get out there and bash, we're trying to do something positive, and you get out there and do something negative. Are you a good club member? I'm gonna guess not. So, yeah. Do we have any questions on that, guys? And it's open for like UTV guys, Maybe we just make a thing. If you overall last race, you're in. What do you think, Alan? Huh? I'm so sorry. He'll never win again.
Trust me, there was cameras looking for you.
Does anybody have any comments on that topic?
Would it even be bad if it was a predominantly UTV club that put on UTV race? I know we want more bike races, but
Yeah, we want them to be a normal club. And if you think, UTV racing is going to be normal,
well, I'm saying you don't want it to be just UTV guys just doing a UTV race type thing.
no, I want to be an active club of the district, But yeah, I mean, totally. It's like I would love to have, Gabe was a UTV guy. Still is. So, yeah, I mean, anybody. I would love to have UTV guys step up. We're not. Fine. But, the goal all along was to get the UTV guys more involved in the volunteering part anyway. So, Did that answer your question? Okay. I was trying. Anything else on that topic?
You're failing to mention who's gonna run their race this season.
Well, that is coming up. Like, since you brought it up. Who is, John?
Roadrunner is.
So, yeah, because they picked dates and then never really made it any further. Roadrunners reached out to Wes
Yes.
and, secured those dates.
And it was Wes's decision for us to do.
Yeah.
Because it was already 25 days too late.
Yeah.
So luckily Tom has a good relationship. We were able to get it submitted and get it accepted before we lost the date.
Yeah, the district has got pretty well by the people. It's the whole thing. Definitely not one person. So you definitely want somebody going there who does have a good relationship. So, anything else you want to add?
No.
Yeah. And I know I thanked you before, but we do thank you again. Because losing races is the worst thing. I know you guys picked one up this year. So. For all the guys who do it, yeah. Appreciate it. We're gonna touch on surveying. I know we did it last, we kind of came up with a plan at the last meeting. Jason volunteered to do the surveying for me. He got busy moving to Arizona. The list of excuses. No, but he's employed John Woods to help him out. And I just want you guys to know, it's moving forward.
Did we reach a hiccup? There's
Hey, we don't interrupt. We had a few snags going along the way. You always have it when you're working with the BLM is an interesting organization. They have a lot of turnover, and so you get a lot of new people, and so there was people that really didn't know what we were doing or how we were going to do it, even though we've done it many times before. So we got that all straightened out, and we're going to start moving forward. So there are no more snafus that are going to get us. We're moving forward now. So they do like to. The paperwork, like I said, does take months. You think it would be faster, but it is the U.S. government. It doesn't go fast. It takes time. So once we have those surveys, then we turn it in. That kind of gets that part going, and then they don't survey in summer because they're actually out there walking a 200-foot path wide for however many miles. So you can imagine they have several people, they kind of walk along and meander and look for stuff. But yeah, so
How many miles?
I am gonna talk to the survey.
Yeah, he just.
I had to get this first. It's like, and I do have them secured. They're local. I'm gonna see again, like, she said, you try to persuade them for a good price. Maybe give them, we are a 401 nonprofit, so you can write that off. And they're not really into that a lot, but, maybe they can, give us a better price than they give us, we're hoping. I was thinking today, I know if some of the clubs have money and they want to put to it, the district is definitely down to do that. I was thinking, if we came up, 4 clubs, the district each put in $2,000 more. Well, that gets us up over, that would get us up to 51,540. If you want. Just throwing it out there, we can discuss it later, but it's an idea that I had. It's $2,000. Any questions or anything on that?
Is there, on the cost of that, is there what a per mile cost, per
Usually,
fee, per?
there's fees. You get an itemized bill. Okay.
No, I'm just
It's
curious.
like $500 for the initial paperwork to do it, and that's what
With
it
the
is.
I'm not talking the survey company, what they charge. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's where it starts.
500 and then.
Yeah, it's like $500 to
There you go.
submit the paperwork. Okay, so we pay for that, right? And then there's like you have to pay their company to put in all the coordinates and whatever and look at whatever they do. I don't really know how they do it, but there's a fee for that, a fee for this, and then it's like so much a mile. So I'm gonna, after I get the price, I'll probably be reaching out to the president and showing them what we can get. Do we want to do this? I'll probably tell them that we got like just over $4,000 to $5,000 or $40,000 to $50,000. What can you do for us? Can we get a break? Would you like a write-off? Get into the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah, I'm just curious to how many miles or what kind of distance we cover with.
Want my estimate?
Yeah.
Well,
Just curious.
let me tell you, the BLM I think got 14 miles for $50,000 the other day. And this is the inexpensive company too. You can pay the expensive companies a lot of money. Am I on TV still? Okay. You pay them a lot of money. Looks good. I can't afford it. We can't afford it.
Maybe just not the right person.
So these guys do a good work. They have a good price.
Seeing we got, is our back on track, could we roll that fee into survey,
What fee?
the Firehawk fee or whatever we were talking about earlier?
No. You got to vote on it, everything. It's just,
I know yes.
we used to have a survey fee. I hated that. Again, like it.
Yeah.
It's just,
I mean, I like more instead of the fee, just tell us what it's gonna cost, what we get,
yeah,
what the benefit is, and then as clubs, we can make the financial decision of whether
exactly.
we wanna do that or not, with what resources we have.
Yeah.
I wanna end
So that's all I can tell you on the price of it. So, does that answer your question? Ballparkish?
Oh.
Yes, for motion, no.
I'll take it now, all right? Anything else on survey? Awesome. Let me see. So, all District 38 positions, of course, at the end of the year, come up for election. So it's that time of year. If anybody wants to run for any position, everything but VP is open. VP is never open. That's an assigned position from the president. That's in all the clubs too. If this is something you're interested in, please contact the district. Right now, we have an opening for the secretary that is unfilled. And Steven's my VP, but he's on the IR, and I don't think he's going to be coming back from that anytime soon either. So that is not an elected position. So if you're interested in any position, you should contact the district and let us know. Okay. Any questions on any of that?
That's same with stewards?
Yes.
Oh, we do need a UTV store.
Oh, we have an open UTV store? Yeah, so we have an
I
open.
could probably have two. I need one.
You have 4, right? Yeah.
No, I really don't think I have two.
I got this,
This
Alright,
one's
go.
counting. He's like,
David.
Shocker.
All right, board member on TV. You play. Any more questions on the actions? All right, what's this one? Oh, yeah, the rules. So Skip is in the process of updating the rules. They're gonna, for the UTVs, they're gonna be going out to the stewards soon for approval. They will go into like a discussion, and then we'll vote on it and approve it. So that's how that works. Bike and quad rules are being updated. And if there's any rule changes that you guys want to see, please email the district also on that. And it will be discussed and voted on by the competition committee, which is 2 people out of every club and the District 38 officials.
I'll pass the rules that make a change on the UTVs. I mean, like.
They will be 4 and 25. And we've never done this before, but I was thinking about it the other day. It's kind of like letting the clubs in on it a little sooner than everybody else. Like send it out to each club president or something.
Oh,
Like what we're going to be discussing, so they just have some, so they're privy to the information up front and know that this may be a change, that may be a change, stuff like that. Just kind of get them more involved. Sure. Any questions on UTV rules? I know, I'm looking at you, man.
I've heard a lot of grumbling, especially with the new Mavar coming out. And
With who?
The grumblings about the Mavar, the Canyon Maverick R.
Oh, the Maverick.
Because it's going to be hard. Is there any discussion on if it's forced to be in a limited car or versus a pro production?
Currently, it is an unlimited car because of its width.
Yep.
It doesn't fit, so it has to be unlimited.
If it doesn't fit, you must commit.
There's.
I quit. That was it. But if we change the rules, what do we do?
If we change the rules next year to where it does fit, which is probable, that's what it is.
Okay, just curious because there's definitely some grumblings during tech about the Mavars being in certain
I
classes.
fixed it. I fixed it.
It's a turbo car, so
It's turbo 1000 cc.
there's only one class.
It's a turbo car?
Yeah.
Turbo
I'm going limited. Or turbo. Dude. What's the problem? Explain it to me.
I was just curious, like if there's like the Pro R's one.
I know you're curious, but why are people, why are they wrong?
Just
No, wait, and also, I mean, I'm probably one of those guys too, where my son's car is 164 horse and that car's 240. So you're talking, 70 plus horsepower.
I'm 100.
It's hard to compete.
Yeah.
With a turbo car?
I'm with you, man.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
at 96. What are you guys talking
apples and
about?
apples, you're talking about a lot more horsepower.
Yeah, so
in
there's
comparison, so,
Well, it's even more than that because that's the direct drive dual clutch transmission where you don't have a belt.
I think that's where it's lost.
It's almost an unfair advantage.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well-
hard to me.
But not necessarily.
Lower cars will last longer.
Big fast.
I don't know, I'm trying to help you.
Unless the drivers are more.
So-
I only lasted 14 miles.
Don't go on.
He's talking about himself.
I'm talking about me.
That's your boat.
Yeah. Rolling on the flat ground.
There is a pebble. Is that it? Mr. Brand Cheese?
That'll be just heavily discussed during the UTV.
Yeah, yeah,
service.
yeah. You know, I mean, get the information on it and just bring it to the.
We have to try and do what's fair.
Because I don't really understand what the problem is.
Try not to get too many classes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's just
the problem people feel is that car is superior in just design and whatever, but it in actuality, it's a production turbo car. If it fits within the width, it's gonna be a production turbo car. You know, I mean, that's like you driving a 2015 Razor against a 2021 Razor. There's a significant performance difference just based on a 10-year.
I think they had turbos in 2015.
Well, I'm using that as an example. I'm not.
Even the non-turbo, the non-turbo.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
still-
any of the technology is going to
Technology
change
moves on.
and
Cars become
advance. And a lot of it comes down to how do you judge it? Well, you can make a tire size, you can make width rules. We kind of made it width rules to keep cars in the production turbo class versus going wider, but
I just don't think that those, like the Can-Ams, the Razor Turbos, those cars are gonna be able to compete, you know, with that particular car. And those guys are probably gonna fall away from the class. I don't know, maybe they'll go into unlimited, you know.
Let's see.
yeah. I mean,
It's the same thing with the speed,
Well, with the speed car too.
the turbo cars, I mean, it's 100 horsepower.
Yeah, that was gonna be it was gonna ruin everybody. The speed car? Yeah.
Let's not forget.
The one race, the one race. Turns out they're not ruining anything themselves. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I forgot,
We'll see.
man. I thought you were.
We'll see, we'll see.
We'll see.
I
So I'll
apologize.
give you that.
Okay. Well, I hope yours, that's mine.
You guys are smart.
All right. Anything on the UTV rules?
You better have to
UTV
tear off.
rules?
Is there a cutoff for when we're gonna have them approved?
Yeah, kind of. But if you got something, call Skip.
No, just to put it out to the general public. Okay, UTV rule, because we gotta get the rules straight, squared, and out so that we can have the cars ready for jam.
Exactly, that's what.
It'll happen very quickly. Yeah.
Yes, we are right there.
I am there.
We
I
are
haven't seen any.
on the cusp of success.
Mine has Stewart.
Excuse me, a little bit going on.
Don't even, we all got shit going on.
Chicken butt could go to the race.
You guys done?
Chicken box put in the kitchen. Chicken
On bike rules, Rob.
Yeah, can we? I think that's a great suggestion.
One thing that happened last weekend is we found that guys went out on that V loop and that heat with no water.
Yeah.
And put sweepers at risk because sweepers had to give them their water. Is there a way, it's hard to put it as a rule,
Yeah.
Camel Black.
if it's a B loop to have to carry water, or if it's over a certain temperature, I don't know.
I don't know, it's like,
And that's where I was going back and forth. You
Yeah.
can't really.
I am carrying a little vial of water, and that's the rule, is it night Robert? I'm gonna say you got some ounces,
water.
you can measure it. You know what, I will take, on your race, when you guys did your, little FaceTime or Facebook Live, did you mention water and that kind of stuff? I know when I was on for the Roadrunner one, I was like, please, 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 wear a hydration pack. It's gonna be hot, have a hydration pack. There was one guy, and I tell you, man, he looked pretty rough. He came in, check one, every lap. That's what he didn't have, hydration pack. I was like, dude, you're stupid. You can injure yourself badly.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you
So,
think that they're
did
not
you-
dumb enough not to have one.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah,
You know, in the summer months, you should definitely, stress it, get one, have one.
You know, it's all the months.
I experienced.
Hold on.
All of them. Oh, I'm just saying, they should have it the whole time, and I will add it to the live presentation.
Hot races, yeah.
Well,
I think any race,
Any
because
race.
I've had races where I've had to give it to riders that have just cracked, it could be cold or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good suggestion, and that's where I was going with that, is it's not really a rule, but let's just push it as every club. Hey, guys, be prepared,
It's,
kind of.
But, I mean, you can preach this stuff, right?
Strongly
I know.
advise.
It just irritated that the two sweep riders had to give them all their stuff and bail out because they were out of water at that point.
Yeah,
So,
well,
at some
you
point, you
know,
have to have a little bit of.
hold on, check.
Well, three things on that. Because there were only 30 people potentially on the call, right? And
No, a lot more watch it later.
105.
Yeah, that's a lot more than 30. So,
All right,
you know, we can do
so
105.
true. Then there's the size of your bag, your hydration pack. I had the biggest one I had, and I made sure it's at 75 miles, I was like, I gotta manage my race, and I struggled on the B loop, not because I didn't have water, because I was out of shape, my body started failing. And I had that. I got dehydrated. I still feel it in my tongue and my fingers right now, just because. And I've done all those sections before. So you could tell people to take hydration packs, and they could have, oh, I'm going to use this tiny one because it's going to make me faster. And then they still, the national, I ran out of water when I got to the B loop, so it didn't matter, you know. So I mean, everybody has to know their own skill level. And unfortunately, and you know, that's where.
Common sense.
Yeah.
But
But
I feel that every time. I think that would.
I'd like to say something on that.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, so the other thing is too, I mean, the club needs to do something too. Like us at Rattlesnake Chase, every check had a brand new ice chest, filled with water, filled with Gatorade.
Ice.
They all went out with it, went ice, you know, ice management ice in the desert. You brought yours, that's good.
Yeah.
I filled them all with ice that morning, but I mean, as a club, we try to do the best we can. So we did that at the Rattlesnake Chase. We knew it was gonna be hot. Tom bought us all brand new soft pack ice chests. Every checkpoint had them right there on hand. And so, I mean, you're doing the best you can to help these riders. I mean, they can only carry so much.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it's just something we have to do as a club. It's not that.
I didn't run out, I was pretty busy. I was second one, third
I
race.
mean, Dan went on Amazon and bought a whole bunch of Gatorade. I don't know how many cases of this.
I got lots of Gatorade left.
Yeah.
They wanted water.
But I mean, as a
I
club,
brought 3 cases, there's 1 case for each checkpoint.
as a club though, doing races like that, it's easy enough to do.
So is that something that we talk about in the meeting and say, hey, guys, the checkpoints have water for you additionally. Stop and get it. They'll fill up your camel pack. They'll do whatever. Like Shad said in the past, at like a Hare and Hound, I've done the first loop with no backpack and put it on for the B loop, knowing that was going to be tougher. So I didn't drink it all. But hydration starts during the week. But back to, let's let them know that, hey, those guys have water there. And that kind of should be mandatory that the clubs give. Because I know we gave the guys water. Problem was, our check 3 guys bailed out before the guys that
That's
really
another,
needed were there.
that's another issue.
Andy hit it on the head. You have to prep before the race. You gotta be prepared days before the race. Because if you're not ready, I don't care how much water you carry. If you can get dehydrated, it just happens, but you gotta prepare in advance. Maybe we need to preach that more. I mean, year round. I mean, even, you know,
Oh, yeah,
winter.
dehydration is not just in summer, just people get heat stroke in summer.
Yes.
I actually did at our riders meeting with the Rattlesnake Chase at the line, told everybody that.
Yeah, I
Exact
think
thing.
we had it on the Facebook Live, we told them that there would be
Yeah,
supplies.
but I,
at the
right at the starting line, I gathered everybody together and went over everything, because I found that on our starting line from Rattlesnake Chase, 95% of the people did not do the online rider. Nobody knew about anything we
Yeah,
talked about.
It's not really riders.
Well, I get that. So we will now, from now on, have a writers meeting. We'll have a writers meeting before we start. It's gonna be on our phone.
Yeah. BLM.
But I
BLM
did go over the
mandates.
whole water Gatorade thing because it was gonna be a hot race, and I explained to everybody. I said, look, it's there. If you need it, it's there.
And that was the reason of bringing this up, so we can all talk about this and kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
throw ideas, because at the end of the day, we need rider safety, we need our worker safety, you know.
Yeah, safety has always been this district's #1 priority. When I took over, that was like one of the first things I preached, because it was seriously lacking. did not have less on. People are just not putting on good, safe races. So,
I want to bring this up. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I want to keep myself out of trouble. So most of the UTV guys know when you come through my check, I always flag you guys through it wide open after I read your numbers. That's me that's always doing that. So I want to make sure the clubs don't have a problem with that. I mean, I bring them into those first noodles, but you got to remember, I'm watching with binoculars about half. I can see them way out there, and I run a very safe checkpoint. There's nobody in my way, and when I flag you to go, you're good to go.
That's kind of in the face of what we
I
try to preach.
That's
that
what
we
I'm
slow
understanding.
down.
Not every checkpoint can do what I do.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
you guys use noodles?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Stuart, I'd rather you not do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to preach.
That's
Hold
why.
on, hold on, hold on. One at a time, Dan. You're third. Now I forgot. Oh, I asked, did you have the noodles?
Yes.
Beginning and ending?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So they're told to slow, fast. Okay, move the noodles. You can always move the noodles.
That's what I'm asking. I didn't want to.
No, I mean,
I would discuss it, so it's,
that's kind of a rub,
John-
you know, I mean,
John's doing
you're-
this, he's asking everybody, but, if John's working the check, maybe you get that conversation before.
I think we need consistency though, because they're gonna not know if
Yes.
John's there.
Right.
Yes, I
Everything's
agree,
gonna go on.
I agree. That's why you need to talk to the club, right?
That's what I'm asking.
Don't we have it posted
You're fourth. You're
15
fourth.
mile an
You're
hour
fourth.
through?
You're fourth.
Oh, sorry.
See,
I would just say, maybe
That's the point.
being in the car, like, you don't have the consistency like you were saying, and you roll up to the first one and it's go, 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 and you're like, wait, we're supposed to go slow, and then you go into the second one and slow down, and then you go into the third one, and it was like the pool noodles were out like 100 yards, where the other ones it was in closer, so it'd be nice to see kind of like the same gap on the pool noodles,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
same slows down, that way we're not confused, like, are we going faster or are we going slow? I know the meeting said 10 miles an hour, but what is it?
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 10 or 15.
That was the same thing. My kid brought it up.
That's what you were gonna say?
He was confused because he's like, I don't.
Yeah,
slow
confusion
down.
is bad.
He
Confusion
doesn't
is
want to
bad.
get a penalty, right to go, so he's confused.
Yeah, you're up.
Okay, so not everyone has binoculars like John at check 3, looking 100 yards down there, and we have it posted 15 mile an hour through checks.
Yeah.
So you can't just have one check blast through and the rest are doing.
I would agree. So, again, I think communications between your course workers and the clubs are very important. You're gonna see like a thing, Tom talked about it, I'm talking about it, communication.
That's why I asked.
It is the key, you brought it up,
Okay, but
good.
the one thing about it, the way I do it is they always come through the first noodle 10 miles an hour. It's not like I'm bringing them from way out there pulling through. And when they get to me at my point, I send them on their way. That's how I do it. I don't let them come flying through there. I get that's
but that's
confusing,
just, it's
but
just,
I've had problems with multiple cars coming in, and I've just been running checkpoints this whole time. I mean, it's just that's why I asked, because I don't know the problem.
yeah.
If I didn't think it was safe with what I was doing, I wouldn't do it my way. But it's I'm the one that's watching. But yes, so that's fine. That's fine. That's why I
Yeah,
asked.
that's why I've been trying to reel that in since our checkpoint. You guys were at it and watching cars with blow through, slide passes. So how do we address people doing that or slowing down? That's where we did at the 160, we did the pool noodles and people understood, okay, start here, 15 miles an hour, exit, go. And
You
if
can see
everybody
those.
does the same thing, it's a lot easier and a lot safer. And the reason the pool noodles were 100 yards away from the check is that's a high-speed section. Cars are going 95 miles an hour down those pools. So I wanted to make sure they had plenty of time to slow down.
Well, at the
Give you
pool,
ready
they
to
should
go.
already be doing 10, right? So now you're gonna have to do 10 miles an hour for 100 yards.
And you got it under GPS.
It's like, ooh, that's confused.
Yeah, the 160 that was like a really fun section.
I'm saying, 100.
Yeah, but just as a note on my check though, there is a guy standing right there with the slow sign at that first one.
Sure.
When you guys come through, I mean, it's not worth just saying through there. He's
No.
standing right there with the stop slow
I
sign.
have
ringing
no doubt
through.
that it's safe.
Yeah, and then when I tell him go,
I have every doubt that it's consistent.
Aren't
How's
the,
that sound?
aren't the pool noodles supposed to make it so we don't have a guy standing out
Oh, I mean, what's
in a
that?
bad spot?
That's not safe though. UTVs guys will run you over.
That's what I'm saying, is you're saying you have a guy out there with a slow side, you're
well-
just putting a guy,
Or you're on the outside of the shaft, I mean, that's.
everybody's raced. And you know you're gonna go as fast as you can until that pool noodle.
Yeah.
You're gonna go, oh, I slowed down here. So you're slowing down there. It's not gonna have a guy up. I'd rather whack a pool noodle, because the whole purpose.
So that's it.
You know what I mean?
And like instead of a person, I got.
Doesn't matter if it's 100 yards out from the
I got a record. Pool noodles. Seems to be the conversation. Anybody else have anything on pool noodles?
Can they all be the same color?
Okay.
You know what? I get what's on sale. Okay?
I got 3.
Yeah, you want green at the end, red at the end, or hot pink, whatever is on sale. Do they sell them in hot pink?
$20 a piece if they did.
Right?
99-cent store.
All right. So, you guys, financials for, quarter, well, might be a little bit more than quarter, the summer's in there. And I have some spare copies if you guys want them. Help yourself. Get them after the meeting. Basically, we started at $13,640, and we ended up with $13,047. The reason for the small decrease was we have monthly insurance payments of $14.95. So we have 5 months in here. So that's a lot of drain on the financials. So we made up a lot of the money on the one GP. We made $4,000. But that's why from this point on, summer we kind of like take a hit for the awards banquet, take a huge hit, because that's where all this money builds up to go. But yeah. So if you guys have any questions on financials or you want to see them right here, if you don't get a copy, I can send you one. I have my word. It's on mine. Any questions on financials? Okay. All right, at this point, I'm going to open it up to the floor, and I will remind you that we have about 30 minutes left of this room, and once that time has expired, I don't mind a little bench spacing in here. They might.
They do.
And they come and they start like, hey, Rob, get these guys out. So, after we break it up, these people want to clean up and go home, so let's respect that. And what do the comedians always say? Remember to tip your waitress or whatever. Yeah. So this place is, I hope you guys like the non-greasy rug. This is the second time I still walk in here and it's like, wow, I don't stick to the floor. It's awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to open it up for if anybody wants to bring up anything. The floor is open for any conversation at all. Mark will lead it off.
And it's not about pool noodles or anything, but I have a question about cones. Do we need to use cones for the pit row area? I know I see everybody doing it, but is it necessary?
Cones, no. You do have to have, by BLM rules, a barrier.
Correct.
They do not define what a barrier is. I think a lot of people use the cones. I love cones, because they're orange, they stack, you can take them. But I know that Roadrunners has also used delineators, which, it's kind of same thing in a string. You could do something like that. There's many things you can do. Me being the pretentious person I am, I went to the BLM. I said, "What's a barrier?" I said, "It's flour on the ground a barrier." And they're like, "Well, probably in the spirit, no." But they were like, "Well,
Well, we're using, it's basically
don't
an
really
imaginary
say.
barrier. It's nothing, we're just using cones.
Yeah,
There's nothing striped or you're ripping it
Yeah.
off. Some sections, I mean.
I don't know. You're supposed to have the pit road. You're supposed to have,
The pit area, then
you're
part
supposed
of,
to have an easement for emergency vehicles, and then whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be. There's no thing that says, oh, it needs to be a 24-inch cone.
Were you thinking of something different?
just something very simple, just stakes with placards. with
That's-
saying
that's-
pit row,
that's
saying
been
pit
used.
row, pit row, pit
That's
row,
been used.
parking, parking, parking. and
Parking on
stuff.
this side, race course on that side, very common.
Yeah.
You might
Just
see
curious, I
that in
mean,
other
just,
districts.
just trying to cut down weight on that stupid trailer. The trailer's in sad shape. That's it. Thank you.
Anybody have any conversation on the cones or barriers? Okay,
I have a question, like on the OTB flyer for this coming up race, they say at check-in, get your wristband. No, we don't have any wristbands, because I work our our sign-ins, and we don't have wristbands, and that's why I was asking Mark, your flyer says you'll get a wristband,
Yeah.
and he said to ask you.
okay, so wristbands are not mandatory. You do not
Okay,
have to have.
okay,
But let me tell you, what we do want to, for the AMA, that print and sign form,
oh, yeah,
we want everybody that we possibly can to be on that. The wristbands will show you when you're walking the pits, let's say everybody comes through sign up, sure, you get the racers. We don't want just racers, we want everybody there. So maybe you send somebody, after the race starts or just before, hey, I see you don't have a wristband, come and sign this and get a wristband.
wow.
That's how you know that whether they've signed or not. That's what we use it for.
So you're suggesting sending somebody down pit road for spectators, crew?
Every possible.
We've had them in the past.
Yeah, we do it. It's pretty common.
Okay,
I know I've done it many times. And you'll get that guy who, I'm not gonna sign this.
well, yeah, because they don't get to go to check-in without signing that first. When they come to me,
Right.
they don't walk any further.
No, no. You're
Until
getting
they're
the racers
on there.
there. And let's face it, the racers are probably most important. Let's say a racer gets a spectator.
Right.
It'd sure be nice to have them on that.
It would.
If you run a GP, regardless where it's at, or a track race, there's a gate. They
Right.
get them coming in. They get everybody coming in. And the BLM suggested, well, make a gate. Just shazzer.
No way.
You put a gate here,
So would you?
yeah, you need some
I'll have some
confidence.
extra cones.
So is the district gonna be giving out the wristbands? Is that how it
No, we
works?
don't.
Or the club?
So I'm walking pit road, I have a bunch of wristbands. I say, sign this, sign it, I put a wristband on it, just like you do in the racers.
Okay,
Wristbands are inexpensive. We also have them for the UTV pit crews. We give out 4 per car, because that's all they're allowed to have in the pit road. The problem we had there was, hey, it's our first time racing, and we have 15 people all over the car, and they're in the track, and they're everywhere. It's like, no, you got it. Back up.
okay.
The fuel being poured. Windy conditions, less people, less risk. Keep your risk down.
I have a lot of them, I just didn't give them to you, so that's my mistake. Sorry.
Okay.
Like,
David,
got
it's your
it.
All right, well, there you go. There's your answer.
keeps them at home.
Okay.
David's running the
I'm calling your wife.
These are great.
That's good.
Anybody else have anything on wristbands or any comments they'd like to make? Yes, Jason?
Oh, I'm talking skip.
I know. Trust me. Figured that
Sorry,
out
guys.
on my own.
At the Rattle State Chase, the BLM Ernesto.
You have is this a new topic or a new topic?
Huh?
Is this a new topic?
What's about the pits?
Oh, yeah.
Pit mats. People in that pit mats with the Rattle State pit mats. He was gonna write us up, Martha grabbed trash bags and went down. Gotta make sure people have pit mats.
It is.
Fill their bikes.
Carpet, little piece of carpet, works.
BLM doesn't give a shit what it is.
No,
Like
that's
I
what I
said,
mean.
they told us to
I
have
have
plastic
plastic
bags.
If it be
And I said, Ernesto, you're gonna write us up, he goes, nope, keep it there.
Yes. Do your due diligence and put out the good effort, and they will always let you. It's a good thing. I mean, if you have something like that, this is a good venue to bring it up, and we can put it out on social media that, hey, remember, this rule is in there, and we have to have it, the BLM. So, yeah, I'm gonna make a note of
That's
that.
the only thing that Ernesto bitched about. Martha ran out there real quick and took care of it.
Yeah. And she even gave them out, even if you had carpet out there, she was still giving us bags.
Carpet is actually great. I mean, it actually does absorb gas. You know, so. We used to, when we first did that rule, I know clubs would bring out like, 10, 15 little pieces of carpet. And maybe didn't have them because it was right after the death up in the high desert. Yeah. So, yeah. So they were all over that back then. That was, they just were 37.
You're welcome.
They made that damn rule. I'm like, just like cars. They're like, no, motorcycles too. I'm like,
Bastards.
right? All right, Dan, I put it down as a copy. Yeah, anything that BLM does, like tells us about, yeah, let's share that between the clubs, We need to share that information, so we need it. Anybody else have a comment on gas mats? Anybody else have anything they want to bring to the open floor?
And, I think on the flyer for the May race that we're gonna do that night, UTV, you still got bikes listed on there, which one, the new bikes that day.
Okay.
That's still on the schedule.
When I did it, I was like, I need to take it off. I thought you did it one time.
We actually thought about doing it, but it's just not being discussed.
Oh, I know, I thought that was when you first mentioned it. So that was,
That's the May race.
May.
Yes, for next year. That's only the bike.
Yeah, what's the date? Is there a tentative date?
Yep.
It's on the website, guys. Have you ever been there?
I've seen, not this, wait a minute. Sunday.
Hold on, I'm still writing.
Oh, for next year?
Look it up, Google it. No, I mean him. Hey, teach him how to fish, don't give him a fish. No bites, right, John? Got it.
So of course everyone's
Yes.
like, well,
Yes, what do you got for us,
Our
Mike?
January race is half a dip, and not superstitionary.
I did, I told you.
I think it was in text message.
And I just printed
Really?
it.
Just write it down.
It was me.
May 17th is gonna be the night race for UTV.
Okay, so what, you're at the dip in January?
We're at the dip in January.
Jeez.
that's the-
So Tom texted me and he goes, let's talk about how much lots of people not wearing them. I don't know who the people are. If they're racers, they can be penalized for not following BLM rules, even if you're coming down to deck. I know a lot of people think it's, and I don't understand this, they put a $1,500 helmet on the roof of their car and ride to tech. Who does that? Good.
$200.
I'm not talking about you. Huh? But seriously,
I know.
don't judge, don't judge. That's what this is and everything. But, yeah, I see that and just like, what the hell? That's telling the BLM, give me a ticket. So it is a ticketable offense, of course. And, with the BLM, sometimes they come to me and they're like, what do you want to do about it? I'm like, yeah, I'll give them a ticket. I said, I prefer it. I'd like it to stop. So, but I don't think they ever do, to be honest with you. But yeah, you should follow the rules, especially on race day. They're out there. So, anything else on helmets?
BLM brought up me and Paul Kirby in his car for not having helmets, and Paul was driving. He can't go 15 miles an hour, he can't see anything. You don't have your helmets on.
He wrote you up.
He gave us a warning and said, I'll do this, you have to go down there and tell everyone that I gave you a ticket. Like bullshit.
Sure, man. I'd be like, okay.
That's what we did.
Was it on race day?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, race day is really when.
We were up the hill right by Wheeler, we came down across Wheeler Road, and he was sitting right there, and I was like, you gotta do shit. I felt like,
On race
get in the
day-
car, go for a ride with Paul, and you'll see.
On race day, I always do. I promise.
Amazon has like $25 little brain bucket shit helmets that I leave in the car all the time for that.
They were in the back seat.
It does.
You just shot yourself in the foot there, buddy.
It's the rule.
I think you deserve the warning.
That's another bag.
So Tom says a rattlesnake chases on the 4th, not the 5th.
Correct.
So,
Go. Send the rest, yeah. May 4th,
Yeah, no, rattlesnake chase is gonna be October 4th.
October 4th.
You got it on the 5th, so Sunday.
yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I was looking.
I got that one too.
I have a,
That's why I send these things out for you guys to, like, proof. When I send that out, go ahead now.
Can I need
This
help understanding the UTV rules for points and championship, where, I know like last year, we did every single race and we lost first place because we technically didn't finish, we didn't like not do one. So is that, how does that work?
you did not do one. You mean work a race?
No, we volunteered one, and then we raced every single race. But it says that you throw one out, so it threw one of our first place outs, and that put us in second place. And so we lost the
Should
championship.
have came after second.
Because
So
the person
it's-
is second.
Throw out, so there's 7 races, right?
Okay.
So you raced every race, so you got 7 points. You
Yes.
raced every race, right?
Yes,
And then you worked one, so you got a 90.
yes. But
So-
then the throw out, you guys got rid of.
Let's say you overall all these races, all 7, and you worked one. Obviously, the one you volunteered for, that 90 is your lowest score. It's gonna go out, and then your next lowest score would go out, which if you want all, it's gonna be 100 points. Let's say you have 5th in there, that would go out.
It's your lowest
Your-
score.
Okay, out of the 7 races and the workers' points, the 6 top scores are gonna count towards your points. Does that make sense?
Possible points is 600.
Kinda, not really.
Maximum. Yeah. You cannot score over 600.
Did I do every race?
You've already volunteered one.
Do I not just, so like,
It's
last year, we all signed up, so the gentleman who was in second place and we weren't first, he saw it, when he started in the back, he saw us take off, and he actually DQ'd himself.
That does not benefit him.
It did, 'cause he got first.
To not do a race, you get 4 points.
Yes.
If he would have finished 9th in that race, he would have been thrown out anyway. If he would have scored higher than his other lowest score, he would have been thrown out. I don't see how that can go.
I think
If you want to like over like last year, I can, maybe I can go offline.
I'm just curious for this year, I wanna make sure we do it right.
Race every race, volunteer what you have, so it's the best you can do.
You don't want to come to your last race
Wow.
and then you DNF. And needing those points.
It's a cushion.
I think that it's a purpose of DQ, so it's volunteer.
So that's
If
sketchy
you-
maneuver
If
there.
he got 3rd, I mean, they were gonna kill him anyway. If he got 2nd, it'd be the same, if he got 4th, it'd have been better.
Yeah.
You usually don't throw,
It went volunteer.
Mr. Evans, you usually don't throw away first place. Unless you won everything.
Do you hear what he's saying? The guy was online and knew that if he just volunteered and got the 90 points, he would beat him. So he signed up for the race, sat online, saw him take off and went, oh, I'm not gonna race, I'm gonna volunteer.
He can't volunteer, the race already started.
So the club, that's what he's saying, that's his concern
He
is
should, yeah, bring it up to the
the
club.
club should have not allowed that.
Yeah, what club was it? Come on, hang right now. Was it,
It was actually
Right.
runners.
was it IA?
Last minute.
Was it IA? I wasn't there, I don't know what.
I know, it wasn't me.
I just wanna make
That's one
sure
skip
I
was
thought.
Yeah.
Actually, it was. I think you're far enough.
Yeah, you can't sign up for a race and then volunteer.
I just wanna make sure I'm good for shit, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you signed up for the UTV race, maybe volunteer for the UTV race.
It's not gonna happen.
If you want to, go, totally, and then you call, when it gets close to the end of the year, like we are right now,
Yeah.
you wanna look at the points, you wanna go over it, I'll tell you how to do it.
I'll see you in the name of the
Because there is a little bit of a game to
No,
play
it's
with
a
that.
bit, you better do it like a couple races out, just like
Yeah.
right now, just so you know, right now. Don't be caught with your pants in. Is this thing still recording? Because. All right,
I need a new one.
a new topic? Go ahead, Andy.
Would you consider doing a night race on the Saturday before the GP?
Where at?
Glen Helen. SRA's been doing it, and they're huge. I know.
Man, they're just gonna cut in my drink time, guys.
So what SRA's, they did it once, and it got so big that now it's a 3-time thing during the summer. And it ends up being a 2-hour team race on the same exact course Saturday night. And then everybody sleeps, wakes up, races on Sunday. Just throwing it out there, because I know it does bring in good money for SRA. It's a cool race, it's just an option.
That could make up for 2 GPs.
Do it, man. Extra money.
Well, here's the thing, so, everybody's supposed to volunteer, all the clubs are kind of supposed to pitch in, and it's kind of been a roadrunner thing and my friends, so.
I thought that was kind of tradition.
It would be nice, if we were gonna do more, which I don't have a problem with, but, that's manpower. Working checks, working flaggers, at nighttime. Up in those hills and stuff, I don't know. My comfort level too. How are you gonna get to them? What if somebody goes down and the lights out?
Yeah, but we're running the same course as SRA is, so they're pretty much, the way that SRA limits it, it seems that they're limiting you is we can only race stuff they can water from the asphalt road.
Mm-hmm.
So that asphalt road is
Yeah.
anything that's right immediately right
No
there.
going up, down.
It's just an idea, more money, it really has taken off for SRA, it's been huge.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be calling me if I copy him.
We'll basically copy them anyways.
Oh.
Sunday GP at Glen Helen.
Who do you think I meant? We're friends, actually.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That might
We
be something to look
communicate
into.
if you need something or I need something for that. We help each other out a little bit.
Something to look into, I mean, that,
Yeah. Well, this is how it goes. If I look into it, let's say I schedule it, and Glen Helen's okay with it, and insurance is okay with it, everybody else, I still have to man it.
It's the same problem the clubs are having.
Yeah, but it's an
What happens
avoidable,
is that-
it's an avoidable one for me. I just don't do it,
I got you.
and so I would need commitment. But I might look into it. I'll call that. Sorry. That's it.
Thank you.
I'll write that down. All right. Anybody else have any comments on that topic? Yes?
I'll help if you want to do it. I'll do mine.
I just heard, does he have a comment on it or is he just yakking?
Yeah.
Stop talking about not topic things.
Off topic things. Yeah, but Andy said. Anybody have anything? Go ahead. Guys.
Stewart's updating points.
Yes.
Just curious. I think 250 hasn't been done since May.
Somebody needs to let me know. Probably.
Okay, well, I just looked at
Who's
it.
a 250 Stewart?
Who is that?
I'll look at the class, it's right at the top of the page.
It's on top of my page.
No.
I got that story too.
No, I mean, not against you, but if you guys have a problem with the points, you just look at the top of that page for that class. There's the
Oh,
stewards
no,
right there.
I understand all that.
Yeah.
I'm just
But
curious.
you know what? A lot of times racers will call me and look at like, what's up? Yeah, I mean, if somebody's not updating them, doing their job, it's like, me and Kim actually, I don't know, have you any stewards here? They know that they have gotten calls if they don't do their points. But somebody needs to let us know.
I just looked yesterday, just because.
Yeah, that's how we find it sometimes. We'll like just randomly check. But seriously, the people in the class need to raise their hand, reach out to me. Highly suggest it. That's how it gets fixed. Usually once I give them a call and talk to them personally, you know, they're like, all right, I'll get caught up. You know, let's say they're 4 races behind, they'll get caught up with a couple races, and then next week they'll do a couple more, and I'm fine with that as long as they get caught up. Especially at the end of the year when you want to know where they are. So, anything else, Stuart? Points? Any new topics? All right. 9 minutes early. Anybody want to close this down?
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on, Tom Warner's got one more thing. Oh, Tom, killing us, man. MAYRICO not updated since 5/30/24. What class is that, Tom? No.
Yeah.
Somebody should reach out to us, so let's. All right. Want to close it? Somebody say it.
Motion adjourned.
Yeah, second? Awesome. We are adjourned. Remember, guys, don't hang out here too long. You got about 10, 15 minutes. John, you got something for me? I got something for you too.